You have reached the SnailTrail4x4 Podcast voicemail. If you want to leave some feedback about Toyotas, have questions about Toyotas, maybe poke some fun at Toyotas, or let us know how your JL came with a Starbucks membership, then leave it all on the line, and we'll get to it on the podcast. Keep crawling.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to SnailMail.
SnailMail.
I always want to break out into the Blues Clues mail song when we do the intro.
I wonder
here.
if we can actually get permission from them for that. That's such a fun intro. I played it at one time.
Did you?
I put it in.
That's funny. Did YouTube flag it?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
No.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So this is a Friday episode. Happy Black Friday to everybody out there.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys are out hanging out with family and getting in whatever shopping you want to get done. I know that there's a lot of companies today that are doing like big doorbuster things.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested, I'm going to throw more flights out there.
Are you doing a doorbuster?
We are, yeah.
Are you?
Kind of. So what it is...
I need to come to the door?
You do. You have to show up at the warehouse today.
Oh, okay.
And we punch you in the face.
Gotcha.
No, what it is
you get a broken nose.
You get a punched wiener. So no, the what we're doing today is every sale purchase today. It doesn't matter what you purchase.
Okay.
It can be a caps bundle for $8 for all I care. It could be I think our koozies are only like $4, something like that. Any purchase on the website today, you will automatically get entered to win one of 10 prizes.
Oh.
So we're going to have 10 prizes we'll draw on Monday. And the grand prize is $500 gift card to Metal Cloak.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was actually a fun idea from Metal Cloak to do a collaboration giveaway.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And so we, over at Metal Cloak, I don't know how they're doing it, but you can go check in with Metal Cloak and you have a chance to win an air hub and hoses, 4-tire hoses with them. So this kind of cross-promotion, which I think we're going to build on for next year.
Yeah, I really like
and
this
see
idea.
if we can get together with like Metal Cloak, Onyx, maybe Baja Lights, Four Wheel Underground, and do this big multi-brand collaboration thing for
Black Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black Friday stuff. So we got a grand prize $500 gift certificate to Metal Cloak. Next up is an air hub. And then from there we have 8 kind of smaller prizes. So single tire gauges, single tire digital deflators, some more flight trash bags, that kind of stuff.
Cool.
So any purchase during this 24-hour period of Black Friday, we will pull 10 winners.
Okay. So I need to go online, go to moreflate.com, and I could buy a sticker.
I don't think we have stickers up there for sale now.
Just koozies?
Yeah, I think koozies would be the cheapest one, but
all right. So I can buy a koozie, check out, and go back, buy a koozie, check out.
Good.
Go back, buy a koozie, check out.
Yeah.
And I would have 3 entries?
Sweet. Yep.
If I'm going to be Jeep and Jimmy, man, I'm going to need that $500.
Right. Yeah. So, any purchase. So it's that's the quote unquote doorbuster that Moreflate's doing for Black Friday, the special thing for the day. So
cool. Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Snail Trail's not doing anything.
Oh.
Or Snail Armor's
not
doing anything. We have our 24% off discount code going on. Thanks, 24. 24% off the any panel site-wide.
Sweet.
And that ends on Tuesday. And then I might do another holiday discount, but it's not going to be this much.
Yeah.
So if you are considering getting a panel, this is the biggest sale I'm going to do. This is the biggest sale all year.
Yep. Cool. So there's that. We do have some voicemails. We have 23.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I thought we had gotten it down to like 12 or 13.
We should have done Thursday's episode way faster, and then we could have done like an hour-long snail mail.
Yeah, holy crap. I didn't realize we had that many. All right, so we'll start off here with BeerCraig, shall we?
All right, bringing it at home. BeerCraig.
Hey, BeerCraig. First, most important, what happened to Jimmy's introductions? It's been Jimmy Jet for every week that I can remember recently. And it used to be like real fun names. If you need help, I'm happy to come give you some, fun introductions there if we need it. I'm great at puns. I've been a dad for a hot ass minute, so I'm there. Also on the Electoral College stuff, whatever, a few minutes into this new thing. The system is dumb. I appreciate being an American, but the whole system is so dumb. All the stuff's dumb. Quit trying to understand it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't represent anyone ever. It's all dumb. It doesn't make sense how we figure out any of this stuff. Proud to be an American. Terrible history. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you, Craig.
Love you too.
Oh,
buddy.
man. That was great.
Yes.
So point number 1.
Okay.
I would love to get some more names for Jimmy. If anybody wants to write into me or text into the SnailMail number, 916-345-4744.
There you go. You got it.
Text me in some punny names for Jimmy, and I'll start mixing those into the intros.
Oh, goody.
I will admit I've been slacking on them.
Yeah. Well, you went from originally we went from only doing sort of every intro we had one thing that we changed.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sure, our avid listeners know, but every the normal SnailTrail 4x4 intro, there's always one thing different.
Yeah.
In every single intro.
Yep.
And then you went to punny names for Jimmy.
Uh-huh.
Now you had 2 things you needed to figure out when you're doing the start of the podcast.
Yeah, because I don't plan those out. I literally I say them out of my head as I'm saying the intro.
Yes.
And there's lots of times where I'll sit there, I'll be like, oh, I forgot what we're talking about.
What are we even talking about today?
Yeah.
Which day is it today?
Yeah.
Yeah. In regards to the Electoral College, yeah. Yeah, I'm not anyone to really discuss it. I did listen to a Radio Lab podcast.
That was a really good episode.
Did you listen to
I got
it?
about halfway through it, and then I never got back to it.
Oh, you should finish it.
Okay.
Really interesting
Really?
how it concludes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's episode 610.
Wow, they got more than we do.
They do. We're catching up though.
Yeah.
Anyways, so episode 610, The Unpopular Vote.
Okay.
And apparently at least twice during our history, the United States history, they've tried to eliminate the Electoral College.
Interesting.
And twice it's been denied.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of a discussion about that and what how it empowers some people and who it empowers.
Yeah.
And who loses from it, and just the complex side of things of it, and really kind of also discussed how they came about inventing the Electoral College too, which was kind of interesting.
Yep. I understand at the time why it was invented based on that podcast and the information they presented. I just think that we're past that time now.
We definitely are.
And one thing that I'm really excited about over the next 4 years, maybe, hopefully sooner, is that Trump has appointed Elon Musk and that guy's name I can never pronounce, that one of the founders of Google, to create an online filing for your taxes.
Oh.
With the IRS and the government, right?
Yeah.
So, and not just that, but they're creating an app, essentially like TurboTax.
I was going to say, I already have TurboTax.
Right? So, like TurboTax, is scrambling because
I'm sure
it's going to put them out of business, right?
Yeah.
But I'm excited because once that technology is in place and it proves that we can do secured data
transfer
with the government, then I think that will give grounds to start expanding that for other government programs that, as a member of a society, we really need in this day and age that we're in.
Right.
I think that we would get way more voter turnout if people could open up an app on their phone and vote for what they want to vote for.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, that we're doing that, we can actually get a quick tally of the popular vote and what people actually want.
Yep. I agree.
That's one thing I'm really looking forward to. And I'm hoping that as that technology evolves, we can get rid of the Electoral College.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
That's my hopes and dreams, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll see if they will allow us to get rid of the Electoral College and go to straight popular vote.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? It was, check out that podcast. It was really interesting how there are people that favor the Electoral College because it gives them more power and a better vote.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's something to that, but I don't think that that's fair. I don't think any one person should have more power to vote over other people.
Yeah. I agree with that too.
I don't know. Thanks for calling in, Craig.
Thanks, Beer.
I'm calling you Punny Craig from now on, just FYI.
I'm calling you Beer.
Beer.
Bearded Beer.
Bearded Beer. All right, next up is Tom Rosa.
Ooh, Tom Rosa.
It's a 3-minute long. Did
he call back?
He did not call back, but there's no transcript available, so I have no clue what he's talking. It could be a butt dial for 3 minutes.
2 minutes of static.
Let's see what we got.
Hey, boys. Jimmy, Tyler. I want to refer to the episode regarding trail keeping or trail access on the Rubicon.
Gatekeeping.
And I had a couple things. One of our groups, the Rock Eaters, way back in the day, we used to have a rule that if you brought a new person, you had to vet that person and you had to hang out with that person and you had to help that person. Because so many times people would, the members would say, oh, I want to show my friend at work how awesome this is. And they've got a stock little YJ out there and then would leave them on the trail because they didn't feel like dealing with their open situation and trying to get up a snow hill or something like that. And so we kind of made a rule that it's your responsibility, man. Put more pressure on the person inviting somebody else. As for the public land, I don't know. What I do know is that I hate and I will not go to the Rubicon during big events like the Roundup or Rubathon or the Jamboree.
Mm-hmm.
Those type of things. It seems like a lot more rookies get in there and clog the trail up and just slow down the whole thing. And if we're talking about shit we hate, why do groups park all the way across the trail, blocking the trail so they can get out and just talk and, hang out and stuff? Leave a path. Because if you don't leave a path, I'm going to make a path. And it may not be the path you want to see. But we'll get by you, and that just irritates me. Anyway, last note, Cal 4 used to, at one point, they sent out a letter to all the members, their Cal 4 members, stating the exposure to liability if you post information about a trail run. They had already had legislation or litigation where people were looking at people doing stuff on Facebook, the Instagram pages, and saying, oh, I can go do that. They go out there, wad their truck up, and then look for somebody else to blame and actually sue the other members that had posted stuff on forums. Cal 4's idea was to, what do you call that? It's a legal form where you isolate the club from personal thing. It's, God bless it, I can't think of the name. Anyway, incorporate. They suggested incorporating all the clubs, and we looked at that and we said, you know what, we're done. We kind of disbanded as a club. We're just a bunch of group of friends now that just wheel, but we've decided to no longer to be an official club and to post anything that way just because of the bullshit. Anyway.
Oh,
good timing.
Yeah. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Too funny. I wonder if he even knew he got cut off.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He probably figured it out and was like, I was done anyways.
Yeah. Some good points there.
Yeah, some great points.
Yeah, I like the rule of you have to stick with the person you bring.
I like that too.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. And I would say if those people that left their person that they brought did not vet their friend enough to bring for the trail.
Yeah.
Right? If you're bringing a guy with a stock YJ that's open, onto the Rubicon, you probably didn't vet them enough. You didn't figure out what they had. They probably just said, "Oh, I've got an off-road rig. I want to go out and do that." And they're like, "Yeah, cool. Come on out."
Yeah.
They had no idea what they had.
Yeah.
Right. So there is a definite level of like, what's the minimum requirements to hit this? Do you have these things? And if they say yes and they show up and they don't, then you need to turn them around and send them home.
Yeah.
You're like, look, you told me you had lockers. You told me you had sliders, skid plates, bumpers. You don't have any of that. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to ruin your day. You're going to ruin our day. This isn't your place. Get home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they continue to go, then it still is your responsibility to stick with them. I love that rule. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I also agree, don't block the trail.
Yep.
And that's interesting in regards to Cal 4.
Yeah.
What they were trying to do there. I do know that there was a lot of talk about how YouTubers and Instagram people should not be posting information about trails or locations of trails.
Locations, geotagging.
Which I still am on the fence about. I do feel, and I think Tyler kind of feels this way. It's like, if everybody showed every trail that they went on, then there would not be a limit or a limitation on trails to go to. And it would let the community choose more places to go, and we would not have congestion on trails. Whereas if we're hiding trails and we're holding them back and we're keeping them secret because we don't want people to be joining those trails, then you're putting congestion on other trails, and the congestion could lead to trail tampons and carnage or just bad stuff. And that could be because, I mean, in theory, it could be because there's not more information about other trails out there.
Yeah. The big thing that I worry about is that if we keep certain trails hidden, right? We keep our favorite trails hidden. Like I jokingly, every time we talk about the undisclosed location, I do it as a kind of a joke.
Right.
If anybody wants to know where that is, ask. I'll tell you where it is.
Sure.
But it's kind of an ongoing joke between Jimmy and I because we both disagree in keeping hidden locations hidden, right? My big fear is that by keeping certain trails hidden, quote unquote, not telling people about them, and then you have this over congestion on trails, which creates an unsustainable amount of wear and tear on those trails.
Yeah.
Those trails will get shut down.
Right.
And then people are going to end up on your hidden trails anyways. Eventually, they'll be found out about.
Yep.
And you're going to get over congestion on your trails anyways. The other scenario is that you don't get enough usage on your hidden trails. The Forest Service and the BLM looks at those and like, people aren't actually using those trails. Let's take them off the inventory.
Yep. That too.
So you're fucked both ways. You might as well just share the information with people and let people use them freely according to however they want to use them. Oh, according to what's responsible to use them, I should say. So I think that's kind of the stand that Jimmy and I take. We love having discussions with people. So, but we don't like having arguments about it. It's a fine line between discussions and arguments. But I don't know. I think it's an important piece of information too. Like it's an important thing to discuss.
It's not exactly what Tom was saying.
Yeah.
Tom was more saying, like if I shot a YouTube trail of going on Fordyce and some random person drives up Fordyce and breaks his shit, then he's going to sue me because he saw me on Fordyce. I'm not sure if that holds up.
I don't think that would hold up.
At least nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't think it would hold up. I don't know if there's a difference between Instagram and YouTuber versus a club.
Yeah.
There might be a little bit more there.
There is an potential issue with a member coming along on a trip with a club.
Yes. And
that member getting vehicle damage or injury to themselves.
I get that.
There is potential there for them to sue the club in that situation.
Yes.
And so that's the importance of an LLC with a club or an incorporated as a nonprofit or not-for-profit organization, having some sort of organizational structure so that the liability of stupid, frivolous lawsuits goes on the organization rather than the quote-unquote owners. In the case of clubs, it's volunteer presidents and vice presidents and secretaries and treasurers that are just members of the club that are stepping up to help the club continue running.
Right.
That's the benefit of the organizational structure to clubs.
Right.
And the major risk that clubs can come into. But that's also why you vet people before you go on trips with them too. So,
and I think some clubs even have you sign waivers.
Yep.
To do the run.
Yep. There's a lot of clubs that do that for sure.
Yeah.
So, it's an interesting topic for sure. I'm saddened to hear that Tom's club broke up because of that. That just goes to show that frivolous lawsuits suck, and unfortunately, they push people around.
Yeah, it sounds like their club closed, but they didn't stop wheeling.
True. Yeah.
Which I've never really ever been a part of a club, but I have a wheeling group.
Yeah.
And I mean, it could have been a club.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sort of feel that I don't feel terrible for Tom, because I still feel like if he still goes out with his friends that they all wheeled together, then they're still doing club-esque things. They just don't need the bureaucracy of a president and a vice president, and secretary, treasurer, paying dues, who's going to organize what.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, you want to go wheeling? Yeah, let's go.
And that, if that works for you, that's cool. I'm probably getting a little bit to that point in my life too, but I think that there's still a very important spot within the off-road industry and the off-road community for clubs. I
agree.
think that clubs offer a sense of community, and they offer a sense of kind of a safety net when you're off-roading with other people that are like-minded.
Yeah.
So the thing that I makes me sad about Tom's club disbanding and just becoming a group of friends at that point is I'm sure those guys have a ton of knowledge based on just knowing Tom. Those guys have a ton of knowledge that, you know, is not getting passed down to new people coming into the industry because they're not finding this organization that organizes groups of people with like-minded people
Absolutely
together. So
yeah.
Tom, create a podcast and pass down your knowledge and information to people.
or jump on ours or Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. I know you're friends with them too.
Yeah. Pass down some cooking recipes. So cool. That was a really good phone call. Thanks for calling in, Tom. Next one up is Benji.
Our
good buddy Benji.
Yeah, buddy. Congratulations on your grand opening of Mayo.
Yeah, that was cool.
Followed along as best I could, and I donated a panel to his giveaway, and I already got the guy in. He already ordered a panel, and I even got it all etched up and sent out.
Sweet.
So, yeah,
nice.
That was pretty quick turnaround there.
That's cool. Benji called in. I can't see based on the first couple sentences what he's talking about, so let's hear him.
All right.
Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Tyler. It's been a minute. This is Benji. I just wanted to say thanks for doing what you guys are doing. As I've been renovating my little shop here, that's been able to catch up on a bunch of episodes. And speaking of episodes, yesterday's episode 552, Should Everyone Be Allowed on the Rubicon? I get both sides to the argument, and honestly, kind of down here where I go wheeling in the Ozarks a lot, I feel like we're going to be coming upon kind of a fork in the road, if you will, not only because of, you know, the trails being jeopardized by like side-by-sides and careless off-roaders. I believe a good solution to a problem, or at least something that kind of gets started, would probably be some sort of a permit or a sticker someone could put on their vehicle that, you know, it could say, hey, if you got this sticker, it's, you know, it's fully armored, you got 35, whatever, you know, front and rear bumpers, front winch, whatever. That way people are out on the trail and kind of look at everyone else's permit or whatever, their sticker, and kind of gauge where they're at. And I don't know. It's a fine line between policing and gatekeeping, and there's always going to be those 2 or 3 jacklegs that ruin it for everybody. It all comes back down to education, and that's exactly what you guys are doing, educating those listeners and out on the trail as well. So anyway, just figured I'd call in. It's been a minute, so keep crawling.
I like it. Very well said.
Yeah. What do you think of the idea of stickers?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I still don't. That's not. You still have to enforce it, right? There's still some sort of enforcement, and
who's going to put this? Who's going to give out the stickers?
My imagination would be it would come with your registration. So there might have to be a special your OHV off-road registration for your vehicle or something.
Maybe.
Because that's kind of what they're doing with side-by-sides right now in a lot of states, right? In order to buy a side-by-side and get it registered, you have to go through side-by-side training.
Yeah.
There's specific side-by-side training now. So I feel like in terms of rock crawling or overlanding or whatever in order to go and access off-road trails, maybe there's something out there that says we need to educate ourselves on proper outdoor recreation habits.
Okay.
And
I'm not 100% opposed to that.
I just don't know how you would implement it, right?
Yeah.
That's the implementation part.
In my mind, I'm envisioning the 3 hills out at Prairie City.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Right? And it's fairly easy, moderately hard, extremely difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it would be like, well, which hill can you do?
Yeah.
And if you can do hill A, or hill 1, you get a green circle.
Yeah.
If you do the next one up, you get a blue square.
Yeah.
And then the next one, you get the black diamond.
Yeah.
But I don't think Bobcat can do the last hill.
I don't think the Forerunner might be able to. I don't have the balls to do the pipeline, the last hill. So.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure. It'd be tough. So, but I do think that there's, are there many things out there that are like that pipeline? Mm-hmm. Would that black diamond pipeline 3rd hill at Prairie City be the black diamond? Does that mean then you can go on Fordyce and Rubicon? Because I think it's less than that.
Yeah.
For both those trails.
Yep.
So I think there's that's what I was envisioning. Which hill can you do?
Yeah.
If you can make it up 1 and 2, the green circle, the blue square, then you get that level. But if you can't do the last one, then you can't go do black diamond trails. You have to go, stick with the blue square trails or below.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I feel like it would still come down to enforcement because then
absolutely
you'd have to then have somebody at the gate.
You would need a gatekeeper.
A gatekeeper to check everybody's stickers or registration as they go into the trail. And it's like, I just don't find that feasible. So yeah, I don't know. I think the top solution right now is just continue to reach people and educate people and convince them that our way is the best.
Yes. or do a Tom Rosa.
Yeah.
And if you invite somebody to go off-roading with you, then you have to stick with them.
Yep. You're responsible for that person.
I forgot who was. Somebody told me a story of that they went off-roading on the Rubicon. This was back during the pirate days.
Okay.
And their friend came along and had more or less a stock Jeep or truck or something and couldn't make it through the Rubicon, but they didn't want to give up. So they drug the truck, off-road vehicle, the stock vehicle, they drug it to Buck Island through every obstacle. They just drug it through.
Yeah,
and the pirate guys got pissed at them because they were damaging the trail.
Yeah.
They were being idiots because they wanted to get this truck out they wanted the guy in the truck to get out to the Buck Island to hang out and have a party with.
Yep.
And they were abusing the trail because of that. In order to do that.
I know somebody that did that last year, 2023, I think.
Oh, really?
Summer 2023.
Yeah.
Big time YouTuber.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Broke Bronco.
Yeah,
right around Spider Lake, Little Sluice, somewhere right around there, but was determined to complete and finish the trail. So they drugged the Bronco through the trail and did some damage, moved a bunch of rocks around, and I called him out on it, and he tried to argue about the whole thing. And I was like, not going to do work with you anymore.
Yep.
Good day. See you later.
Yep.
If you don't get it, then you're not going to get it from me explaining it. So
nope.
I'm just not going to work with you anymore. Get out of here.
It's not entertaining. YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. All right.
So,
well, yep, that's that. So we got time for one more?
I think we got time for one more.
Okay.
Brian, South Florida.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that's who we got.
Hey, it's Brian from South Florida. I was just listening to one of the episodes you guys were talking about changing the oil on your Bronco and how it was giving you a bunch of crap.
Fucking Bronco.
So I always use the K&N HP series filters solely for the reason that they have a hex nut welded to the top of them, and you can fit a regular size socket on. I think it's 19 millimeter or something like that. But anyway, yep, just figured I'd give you that little tidbit. Keep growing.
Yeah, I think he wrote in on Instagram too.
Okay.
And sent us those the link to the filters he's talking about.
Yeah.
And it is really clever. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can literally just put a socket over the end of this nub that's welded to or formed into the oil filter house canister.
housing.
And yeah, wrench your oil filter on or off with a normal socket and wrench.
Yeah, very smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the reason a lot of people don't do that is because they don't want you over tightening it when you're putting it on. But if you can't get it off or you can't tighten it on enough, then what are you going to do? So I think this is a great alternative solution for that. Yeah, for sure.
So I've already done the oil filter on the Bronco, but I'm thinking I got a new tool. It's similar to the grabber that I have, the gear wrench grabber, but it goes both ways, just like Jimmy. And I'm going to try that out for the 4Runner.
Okay.
And if that tool works well, then that's what I'll stick with. If not, then I'm probably going to switch over to those K&N filters.
Okay.
That he sent.
Yeah. Did you get the one that goes over the top?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 I have a wrench style kind too that has a few adjustments for sizes, and it has teeth allow it to go tighten or loosen.
It goes both ways? Just like you. That's awesome.
Hey, now.
Yeah, thank you for calling in. Thank you for sending the message too with the link to the K&N filter, so we kind of got the idea of what you were talking about. And I agree, that's a really good design. I had already ordered up my tool though beforehand. So if it doesn't work, I will be looking into those filters for sure.
Yeah, for the future of all the rigs.
Yep.
Totally. Cool.
That's it.
That's all for this week.
All right, man.
Okay.
If anybody wants to reach out and leave us a voicemail, you can do it at 916-345-4744. If you have any punny names for Jimmy Microjet over here, text those in. Same number, same phone number. Just text them. I'll keep a list, and I'll start reading them off, and maybe a shout out to the people that come up with the really clever ones during the intros on the normal show. So I think that's it. That does it.
All right. Out we. Is that what you were waiting for?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Out we.
The number you have called has been disconnected.